everyone, Mark the Movie Man here. Welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today as we take a look at an independent horror film for my husband and wife team. Yes, we are looking at The American Ripper. It is written and directed by Chuck Morrongiello, who stars in this next to his wife, Carolina Morrongiello, and these two play Bobby and Lola respectively, and they just bought this house on the lake. It's a beautiful house, it's a beautiful location, and a beautiful price, but little do they know the reason why there is a low price on the house. It's because this house has a dark past of murder and mayhem within its walls. Well, they soon discover that dark secret as Bobby starts acting very strangely and starts committing acts of violence towards not only Lola, but anyone who happens to show up at their humble abode. The American Ripper is wearing its Amityville influences on its sleeve. It's not hiding that fact, but they give it a mythology for this household and for the reason, for the events that are going on within this house, that I think they make it their own. So while it is familiar territory, this definitely is their film and their story. And I appreciated that quite a bit, that they were able to put enough variation on it to give it their own stamp. Now, Bobby and Lola are great characters, and they should be, because they're played by a real world husband and wife team. And so that helps quite a bit, not only in the convincing of this pair, you know, they caring for each other, but also making you feel the emotion between them as things start to fall apart. What surprised me with this was the extremes that they go to as far as the acts of violence committed on screen, especially when it involves these two. I was like, wow, they actually went there. So they took, you know, a number of risks, and I really have an appreciation for that, and I thought it was very effective, both emotionally and tension filling. The rest of their cast does well in here, and while there are some technical aspects of it, not many, that were a little rough. Say the audio in some spots was a little bit rough, and some of the lighting and the camera work, but you know, overall, for a small budget film like this, technically it's put together well. It's edited well. I believe Carolina also did the editing. It's editedly well. It moves along. And you know, the order of events play out well. The way the things are just cut together, really well done, and it keeps moving. You know, and I love the makeup effects that they have in here as well. The practical effects that they put in this are very effective, very visceral, convincing for sure, and gruesome. I mean, they're some of the stuff that they put on, especially later in the film, I was like, wow, that really is disturbing. So it is also effective. Now, they are also musicians, so they do feature a bit of them singing in the film, which was kind of nice to get a little bit of mix up with your indie horror film. You don't always see that there. And yeah, overall, I thought the story was solid. Yeah, the only thing I think, if I had any complaint to it, was that it was a little long. I get what they were going for, and the characters that they bring in along the course of events as the story plays out, you know, it helps convey what is happening to Bobby and watching him descend further and further. But at the same time, I think maybe one of those sequences could have been cut out, and it could still be very effective, just not quite as long as what this is. So outside of that, I would say The American Ripper is one that, if you like your extreme torture horror, because that's what this is, definitely, folks, is torture horror. If you know, you are looking for that type of film, well, then The American Ripper should be on your list. If torture horror is not up your alley, then you may want to skip it. And that'll about do it for us here at The Final Cut. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Also, like, subscribe, and all that here, bells and whistles. I thank you for your support, and as always, remember, keep that ticket stub.